how will your bank work? Excuse me.
It'll work just exactly, almost exactly like the RFC, but it will cover more and is more important now and will have more money to provide. You see, the old RFC had 500 million capital and could expand 17.5 to 1. This National Development Bank would have $1 billion capital and can expand 20 to 1.
What are the chances of your getting it into effect?
I think the chances are improving daily. And the fact that Senator Sparkman and I are working together, he's chairman of the Bank and Currency of the Senate, and I'm chairman of the House. And we have good committees. I think our chances are enhanced greatly this year compared to any chance we had in the past.
You know, there are 400,000 policemen of one type or another, law enforcement officials in this country. 370,000 of those are local police officers. But the funds and the guidance and impetus must come from the federal government. The Safe Streets Act of 1968 set up the Law Enforcement Assistance Administration. One of the purposes of which is to provide money, federal money, for improving the quality, the techniques, the equipment, and the hardware of state and local law enforcement agencies.
You made a rather optimistic projection that in 4 or 5 years you should have the biggest part of organized crime under control. On what do you base this?
We base this on the increasing numbers of indictments and convictions of organized crime figures, which has been increasing proportionately as we've increased the funds and the staff available to fight organized crime. We also base it on intelligence that we get from inside the rackets.
This house at 214 East Cannon, here on the corner of East Cannon and Crawford, had a cloud of gloom over it this morning. This is the home of Mrs. Viola Finley, and she lives here with her family. Her son, 25-year-old Jimmy Finley, was that Air Force sergeant that was kidnapped by Turkish extremists. She found out about it on a phone call in the dark hours of 4 o'clock this morning and a call from Ankara, Turkey. About 3 o'clock this afternoon, she found out that he had been released, and she's a pretty happy person at this time. You're pretty happy at this moment, aren't you?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Did you ever have any doubts that Jimmy would be released?
No, I seriously doubted it. It's a very few that is after they're kidnapped.
What kind of a boy is Jimmy?
He's sort of a quiet boy, very sweet, I think.
How did you find out that he'd been released?
Well, it was called from New York, and I had gone to the doctor, and they called and talked with my daughter, and she called and told me.
Did they say when Jimmy would be coming home, or would he stay in Turkey?
Well, they didn't say.
You hope to get him home pretty quick, don't you?
I hope so.
Good. Thank you, Miss Finley. That cloud of doom lifted this morning. This is the kind of news that a newsman likes to report. The fact that 25-year-old Air Force Sergeant Jimmy Finley is safe and back in the hands of the U.S. authorities in Ankara, Turkey. This is Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
Thousands of steelworkers went on strike against 4 major can companies shortly after midnight this morning. The National Can Company has reached a tentative agreement in its strike. This leaves 3 remaining can companies in the United States: the American Can, Continental Can, and Crown Cork and Seal. Here in the Fort Worth area, 2 of them are affected: the American Can Company and Continental Can Company. The Vice President of Local 7569, Gary Williamson of United Steelworkers, explains why he is on strike.
Our contract has expired, and we believe we're due some pay raises.
Is this the only reason why you're out on strike?
No, we have some problems in wording of a contract.
Are there specific problems that you would discuss with us?
Oh, not at this time.
How far apart would you say you are from the management in negotiations at this time?
I would say that we're getting fairly close.
Well, I think that there will be many of the sectors that will be expanding this year. Many of the manufacturing sectors that manufacture consumer goods, those related to home construction, to home furnishings, home durables. The auto business is going ahead strongly. In addition to that, there are certain areas where the governments, say the local and state governments, are expanding employment and education and some of the medical-related services. So I think that there will be quite an increase in jobs available in many of the sectors of the economy this year to replace the defense and space jobs that are lost.
Some of the cities feel that they are carrying another portion of the system. This is true. For instance, in Hazel, we built a $360,000 sewer plant, and we did not have enough customers so that the revenue would retire that indebtedness. Well, it has been expressed by North Richland Hills that they feel that they are helping to carry that part of the system. And it can be said that they are. For instance, if the water over here, sewer in itself doesn't carry its own weight, even in Fort Worth. The water system helps retire the sewer, or else your sewer rates get so high it's kind of prohibitive.
The furniture bids approved this morning cover about 25 truckloads of chairs, desks, and other office furnishing items. Delivery will begin on or near August 1st, but will take about 2 or 3 weeks to get the furniture off the trucks and into the building. That may give some idea of how big the structure really is. The whole project is about 80% complete now. Virtually all the heavy work has been done, and when the workmen are through with the finishing touches in August, the city will have spent about $7.5 million of capital improvement bond money. That doesn't even include the third floor completion. That floor will be finished in pieces as the need arises. Right now, city offices are scattered all over town. The new building's main function will be to centralize the city workforce and, incidentally, to beautify the Fort Worth skyline. Jay Lewis, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
Well, we really can't tell until we evaluate the proposals and see what's what they base their proposals on. But from the opening of the bids, the Dashaveyor and Associates were lower than Varo-Vought.
How long will it take to evaluate these?
Oh, I would think it'll take to really get into it for a thorough analysis of each of the proposals, 45 to 60 days.
Just how important is this transit system to the airport?
Well, the transit system is the lifeblood of the whole system. It's just like one of the main arteries within one's body. It will transfer all people and bags and mail and waste and the likes of that throughout the whole airport.
Who will be doing this evaluation besides your staff?
Battelle Memorial Institute in Columbus. They're a non-profit organization, but are specialists in this particular field.
Thank you very much.